The following podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the What are you doing?
What are you doing? The camera's this way.
Camera's that way. Lights. Green screen. Okay. It's been a long day for him. And for me. Seriously worried about you. Anyway, like I said before, I'm Kevin.
I think I'm Chris. I don't know. I was backwards.
Well, that's kind of how
supposedly backwards anyway.
Well, that's how things kind of are today, you know, in news, especially in WWE. Well, not only WWE, just a lot of things going on in the news. Try to do this to where I'm not squeaking the desk as much. All right. So we got a lot of ground to cover. Going to be going over everything with the results and recap of Smackdown. And there's a lot going on. But first, before we continue, let's acknowledge some people. You could say it.
We acknowledge you.
Acknowledge some people here that are here in our chat. They're here through our Twitch chat. Of course, we've got Almighty Exotic.
It has been a day, brother.
It's been a day. Hang on, I'm trying to get this all organized. Yep, we are live. We got Cubano, Chicago 33. That's Cubano. Of course, we've got Chris. Aaron Black, Chris, that Chris, not this Chris. Oh, yes. We got, I'm going to butcher your name. I'm sorry, but Banana Ramadan. I'm probably butchered it. I'm sorry if I did.
Banana Man Dan. Is that what it is?
Actually, it's Banana like, Man Dan.
It looks like darned. Banana Man Dan. It's funny because Banana Man. A and W.
A and W, yeah. Hang on, we had another one. Where'd it go? We had YouTube as well. There we go. There's our YouTube chat.
Cat video I had.
For those that are watching along with YouTube, we're seeing your chat, and we also have Kick as well. You can find us on Kick. So, Smackdown. Oh, wait a minute.
Smackdown happened.
I almost forgot. Funny story that it happened.
The thing at the store, right? Or is it like a different thing?
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. Yeah. We stream live on YouTube as well. We froze. Oh. Well, doesn't show that we are. We'll probably check Twitch here in a little bit. Not here at least. Okay. All right.
All right.
Sorry, I just saw some news that just popped up on my thing there about something from TNA. But Chris has a funny story. We were the reason why we're tired. Chatter.
I don't think we're going to be streaming there.
Nope. Okay.
But
Chris had a funny story that happened. We were grocery shopping, and him and his mother, my wife, had went into the store to get some water. Speaking of which, can you give me my water? Because
sponsored by water.
Sponsored by H2O.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated, my friends.
Those things specifically, I guess.
If inflation keeps going at this rate, maybe. All right. I had to take that label off there. Anyway, Chris, go ahead. Go with your story real quick.
Overheard this sort of... Yeah?
Yeah, we buy groceries.
But there was like this sort of debate conversation going on, like over by the register aisle or whatever, you know, where they sell the registers, and
Yeah, they sell registers.
yeah,
Wow,
uh,
they sell registers. Go ahead, tell the story. We got a lot to cover, man. You got to quickly tell the story.
It's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be hard to tell what's real and what ain't. Taking y'all to the Hardy compound, right? No, but
Okay.
yeah, but they're talking about the current, what I think it was the current state of WWE. Some of it was like criticizing Triple H and saying that they thought Paul Heyman would be a better writer. Something about how Triple H is getting too comfortable and is kind of, especially with the whole scripted thing, like,
Pulling back the curtain
yeah,
kind of thing?
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically what they were talking about.
Okay. See, if we were in that...
The main parts of it.
Yeah,
anyway.
if I was in that store, we would have struck up a conversation with these guys.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah, that would probably
they thought Paul Heyman would be a better writer. If they would have hired Paul Heyman on as a writer, he'd be a better writer. And they think Triple H is being too much and pulling back the curtain. What do you think?
The curtain thing, I'm gonna say I have to agree with that one.
Okay, how so?
Mainly that Netflix documentary, I don't see much of the purpose for it.
Oh, it's a series. It's not a documentary. It's a series. That means they may have seasons.
Oh, that don't make it any better. But should we tell about the $34 for a box of eggs?
No. Go ahead.
But oh yeah, again, I was at the series thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, pulling back the curtain a little too much, you know.
What about Paul Heyman?
I don't know.
You haven't seen his... I guess you haven't seen his early work with ECW.
Not a lot of it, no.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like he already kind of helps with the writing anyway at the moment.
In some ways, he kind of helps move the story along a little bit.
No, I mean, I was thinking more like maybe behind the scenes he helps Triple H or something. He's like he advises him or something.
In a way. May the 4th be with you. And to you.
I legit was like, wait a minute.
It's almost there.
Almost there.
Yeah, it's what, tomorrow? Or, no, Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday. It's on Sunday. Anyway.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it? Yeah, pulling back the curtain.
But may the 4th be with you. Yeah.
I mean, I probably feel the same. Pulling back the curtain may be a bit much. It kind of destroys the illusion a little bit. But,
don't let him hear you say that. I don't think Socko would like that.
But, yeah, I mean, him pulling back the curtain a little bit, yeah, it can be a bit much and be too revealing and everything. But in order for us to kind of understand how getting up to a match goes, a full understanding of what they have to go through, everyone from the writing process to production, everything like that.
I don't think we need to know all of that, though.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
agree to disagree.
Because, I mean, like, you know how you said that we don't know how any of that stuff is run? Now you're going to have a lot of fans thinking, oh, I watched one or two.
Now that we're... Oh, okay, I see where you're saying now. Now that people have gotten an inside thing...
They're going to think, oh, I know I could do this, you know?
Yeah, but it's not an easy job.
Yeah. Well, probably not, but still.
What do you guys out there in all of our chats think?
I guess he was mad he lost the title for the answering Juggalo and why he attacked Cole and Pat.
Oh, just upset. Commentators probably weren't as biased or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He perceived some form of bias on their end.
Yeah. All right. Well, What's wrong?
I think it's raining again.
Oh, well. been kind of raining off and on here in Texas. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get into the recap for SmackDown, which Chris has the results. So switch that over there, and Christopher, take it away.
Didn't get where it was from.
Hmm?
Again, didn't get where it was from, but got everything else. Starting off, you had it started off with everyone getting there. It seemed like. Adjusting the mic.
You okay with your mic there?
Yeah. And then that led straight into a promo by LA Knight. Well, no.
Well, you had Damian Priest kind of have a verbal confrontation with Jacob Fatu and Solo.
And then you had like security step in and stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But then after that, then the in-ring portion of the promo started, and you had LA Knight talking about things.
He was talking about, the WrestleMania match, and he really has nothing against Damian Priest, but
he wants his title back.
He wants his title back, and Damian Priest kind of was in the way, so it was Damian Priest's problem.
And then that went right into a match, basically to try and determine who would be number one contender.
Between Damian and then...
Maybe. But then that led right into, and this was originally the main event, LA Knight versus Damian Priest, number one contendership.
Right.
But that got moved up because of the promo. And
yeah, they got fired up, and I got to say, that was a great promo by both of them.
Was. And some point during the match, you had Solo come out and attack Damian, which then, ended in disqualification or no contest, one of the two.
Right.
And then after Damian was taken care of, he turned to LA Knight. Then at some point, when they were all outside the ring, Jacob came in and joined Solo. More on that, I guess, backlash later.
Yeah.
Dad was very happy about Aldis's announcement there, weren't you?
No, and we'll get to that in a second.
But, yeah, and that's going to be funny. But you had Pretty Deadly against Fraxium with Nathan Frazier pinning Kit Wilson. I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were saying, you're kind of jumping ahead a little bit quicker. They were saying there was some flub ups by the ref. She counted 3 twice. She counted a pin twice, and told them to keep the match going. There was
that's weird.
I guess there was just some miscommunication or something. I don't know. I noticed that too, and a lot of the fans there noticed it, and they seemed pretty disappointed. Like, okay, what's going on? She counted 3, so what's the big deal?
Night.
Yeah.
I think he is already a heel.
No, Truth? R-Truth? No.
He's kind of supporting Cena, so technically...
We'll see.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But, yeah, then after that match, you had promo with Nick Aldis, and he surprisingly showed up a lot tonight.
Yeah, he did. He's trying to control his show, even though he was on Raw earlier this week.
Well, technically, it was just, him in his office, and you had B-Fab and Michin talking about how they wanted a shot at the tag titles. I forget.
Trying to form a tag team. If you remember my comments from last night about tag team wrestling in WWE right now and how it's crap, that there's barely even a division. Again, my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Then you had Green and her group coming in and interfering talking about how she wants a rematch for the title.
And she dressed like she was going to a funeral because she lost
You
her
remember-
title last week.
What was it? Noam Dar, right? You remember how he
Yeah.
was acting with his
Oh my God!
cup?
Yeah, after he lost his Heritage Cup
I think we're
the first
gonna,
time.
I think we're gonna be seeing that again with Green.
Pretty soon, Chelsea Green will turn into Smeagol from Lord of the Rings and start calling it her precious.
Yeah. Then you had Nia Jax, who came out to the ring to do a promo, and at some point you had Tiffany Stratton come out and interrupt, saying that her cashing in on her was the best choice of her career, and claiming that she can defend it at any time, at any place. Shortly after that, Naomi came out, saying that how she has changed but no one else has. Cargill then came out and started attacking Naomi, and that turned into a fight. And Nick Aldis then came out and made it the main event for tonight's episode of SmackDown.
Right. Well, keep reading. Don't worry what I'm doing.
Let's see. Then you had The Miz versus Aleister Black, which I think could be match of the night. I'm suggesting that for match of the night.
Oh, hang on. You're jumping ahead of me again.
Huh?
I'm like multitasking here. There you go. And we put that right up there. There we go.
I don't think he didn't have spikes though. It's
Still.
alright. It's alright. But at some point there was like this cartwheel reversal from I forget what his move was called.
Which one? Oh, Miz's
Yeah.
skull crushing finale.
Yeah, that's what that one was.
And he reversed it into a cartwheel, which surprised the heck out of me. I had to rewind it.
A lot of the back and forth and the reversals here just were good.
I'm telling you, and I was telling you during the match, you check out Aleister Black's Instagram page. He has his own wrestling school, and he's demonstrating in some videos with one of his instructors how you can reverse out of an arm bar and all this other stuff. You know,
Like, I don't think I've seen creative reversals like that ever.
check out his Instagram page. I'll show you some videos too. You guys too. Check out his Instagram page. He's got some creative reversals I haven't seen, or they're already kind of known reversals, but turns it into his own kind of thing. You know, and I like that. I would say not very much. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens in about a year if they try to go for tag titles.
I
or something.
don't know if they'll still be tag grouped together in a year.
Okay.
I don't know. But that match ended with Aleister Black winning by pinfall, even despite some attempted interference by Mello, who after that match he had the stare down with. So we're thinking he could end up having another a match with Carmelo.
The way that they were,
Aleister
the way that they were having a stare down. Yeah.
Then you had Santos and Rey Fenix, where you had, oh no, that's a promo.
Yeah.
That later got turned into a match.
They had a confrontation in the locker room, and Santos was kind of like poking at Phoenix for losing at WrestleMania. He says he's not a real true luchador
because
stuff
he
like
lost
that.
to Americano or something.
Chad Gable, come on. We had this debate
Two
before.
different guys.
Oh dear God. Okay, everyone in the Twitch chat, or it's pretty much the only chat that's only active right now. El Grande Americano, Chad Gable or not Chad Gable? I'll let you guys decide that one. Yeah, Miz has a tendency to turn on everybody when he doesn't get his way anymore. Continue.
But at some point during the mocking,
Chad Gable.
I don't know.
Not two different people, Chris. This Chris, not that Chris.
What if it's a clone? Technically,
Seriously, you're going into cloning?
technically, it's still two different people.
Keep reading.
But Ray ended up making a challenge for a match later tonight, or I guess earlier tonight, because SmackDown's over now. But see, then you had that match between Zelina Vega and Piper Niven, where of course Green tried interfering, but because of that interference, it ended up costing Piper Niven the match,
Right.
and Zelina Vega retained by pinfall. It was like contendership sort of thing. It had Piper
contendership kind of qualities to it.
Yeah.
Chris just thinks wrestling is real. Okay. We just got done talking about Zelina Vega and the Piper Niven match.
Yeah. Then you had that other match thing that got made or announced for Backlash with Jacobs and his title, and back in Nick's
office.
Yeah.
He was about to turn into a triple threat, and
that already we know makes that.
I don't know about
happy.
you guys out there, and put it in the chat, put it in the comments if you do. Are you guys kind of burnt out on like multi-person matches, like triple threats, fatal four-ways, things like that? I just need to know. I honestly need to know, because I'm getting kind of burnt out on them a little bit. You know, I don't mind the tag matches. I don't mind the six-man, because sometimes the rivalries need that in the storylines. But
or if you have like a faction
we
war
just
type
had
thing building up.
We just had a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. 2 triple threat matches at WrestleMania. I just, you know?
Yeah. And just when Dad thought it couldn't get worse, it turned into a fatal four-way.
Yeah, turned into a fatal four-way at Backlash, and I'm like,
that made him
enough.
so happy. No, it didn't. It made him the opposite of happy.
It made me the opposite of happy.
Yeah. And then after that, you had Randy Orton come out to the ring talking about how he saw Cena the entire time. And started talking about what happened to loyalty and respect. And then he ended up basically saying that he's going to have to put another legend down at Backlash.
The Legend Killer is back.
I
love it.
And then after that, they went to break, and when they got back, he ended up encountering R-Truth, who was still supporting.
As a negative Nancy.
Oof.
I'm just speaking how I feel. If you've been following our promos on TikTok, new attitude. This is my attitude now. This is my new one.
He's in his attitude era.
I wouldn't go that far. But it's just I'm
Really
expressing
reaching there.
I'm just going to be openly expressing my opinions on things, and they're just my opinions. I'm not forcing them on anybody. They have their own opinions, so I'm going to let them keep their own opinions.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be. Yeah.
R-Truth's opinion is that Cena did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Randy cut the same promo last week. He seemed a little more intense this week, though. I like the promo.
Yeah.
So.
Then after that, you had the. Oh wait, no, I didn't finish that. But they got back from break, and you had R-Truth again supporting Cena, trying to defend him or whatever, and you had Jey Uso try and come out and correct him.
Right.
No, wait, that's Jimmy.
Yeah, it's Jimmy, not Jay. This is Jimmy right here.
Yeah. They're twins. I mean, in my
Okay.
defense.
Okay, in your defense, yeah, that, and you were getting kind of worn out after our day of shopping and everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But after that, yeah. Oh wait, he also said that Cena's gonna beat Orton. R-Truth did. Then you had your next match, which was Rey Fenix versus Santos Escobar. Rey Fenix won that match. And then you had that TLC video where they were calling back to that, recapping that.
Which still was a great match, and it won match of the month.
It did.
People
For last month.
just like Christians do. No, believe me, I'm not doing that. I'm not forcing my opinion on other people, just expressing them. Go ahead.
And then you said something about Andrade messing with Legado del Fantasma after that video played.
Yeah, Santos Escobar got mad at Berto and Angel, and was like getting frustrated with them.
Interfere for me?
How come you guys didn't help me out? Blah blah blah. Wah wah wah. And then Andrade came out and was basically saying, you call yourself a legacy or whatever, you're not a legacy. And I'm thinking there's going to be a rivalry there between Andrade and Escobar, and I would be happy to see that.
Then after that, you had your main event, which was Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton teaming up against Naomi and Nia Jax. And there was some promos earlier on tonight where both teams had this sort of "don't get in my way" type of tension.
Yeah.
And
well, they even also announced
and then
next week they're going to have Jade Cargill take on Nia Jax for #1 contender to see who takes on Tiffany Stratton for the championship at Backlash.
Yeah.
There you go, yawning again.
Yeah. Match ended when Jade Cargill pinned Nia Jax. And after that, there was this thing with the belt where it looked like Jade Cargill was going to take it. Or, I guess do something with it.
Well, she held it and put it on her shoulder, and Tiffany's like, "That's mine." That's well, I mean, she's in a #1 contender spot, or a shot to be a #1 contender. She may not win next week. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
I think Jade.
You okay?
I don't know.
Wake up! Wake up! Jade Cargill.
Cargill.
Cardgill.
This is after she got hit by a car too.
Day for us too.
This is after the storyline where she got hit by a car too.
Well, that's what Naomi tried.
Yeah,
Anyway.
It really is. That's really what she was going for.
Go ahead.
You could even say she pushed for it, but
God.
Power.
Power on. Sit up a little bit. You look like you're.
Let's see.
Yes, and Naomi.
I think
She attacked Jade.
Yeah, I think Jade's probably gonna lose that match because she's still. It looks like they still want to continue the rivalry with
Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Nia Jax is gonna try getting her title back, and that's gonna be another big thing that they build to.
I just really hope this thing doesn't turn into a 4-way.
No promises. But yeah, after that, Naomi did attack Jade, and then SmackDown went off air for tonight.
All right. Well, you stuck it out there. Good job. Good job. Now you got to stay awake for the news, okay? Wake up, or I'll Gunther.
We got to stay awake,
Chop
brother.
I'm gonna Gunther chop you there.
No.
Okay. So kicking off, and I'm gonna get started here with something that was probably already announced. Crown Jewel for this year, not taking place in Saudi Arabia this year. For the first time, it's going to be taking place in Australia, and it's going to be in Perth on October 11th at the RAC Arena, or RAC Arena. Oh, you wish that. Okay.
I guess we'll have to see who ends up being right.
Well, I would say it's driving me crazy where I pull my hair out, but that's already happened.
Yeah. You got no hair. Well, unless you start pulling on your beard hair.
No, I ain't doing that. So alongside Crown Jewel, this very same arena is going to host SmackDown the night before on Friday, October 10th, and Raw on Monday, October 13th. Now, with all that happening, that only means one thing. If it's taking place in Australia and Raw is live and you have the Crown Jewel event, that means we're not going to be able to see it until like either early in the morning or
yeah, that's right.
because of the time difference. So that's going to kind of mess with our schedule a little bit when we're going live for Raw, SmackDown, and Crown Jewel.
I don't even know how they would do that.
I don't.
He was talking about.
Oh, I
Cena.
see. I don't know. I kind of hope they don't.
I don't
add
think
more
they
people
can
to
do that at this point unless it really is like shoehorned and rushed in.
Anyway. Also, when making that announcement, Rhea Ripley and Grayson Waller, native Australians, went to do their rounds with announcing of Crown Jewel coming to Perth. You okay? You did a blink there. Are you sending me a distress signal? What are you doing? What the hell?
I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, they were going to doing their rounds with interviews and everything, announcing of this event. And at one point, Grayson Waller just said he'll end John Cena's career if they meet in Australia. He'll end his career early.
You will try, right?
You will try.
I think Seth is a heel now.
Yeah, he is.
I think.
So Grayson Waller said this, quote, "This is my house. I run this place. If he wants to come here, he'll have to go through me. That retirement tour is supposed to finish in December. Maybe it finishes in October because if he comes anywhere near me in my country, I'm putting him I'm putting him out to pasture." So Grayson Waller,
he missed a joke about I'm putting him down under or something like that.
oh, I'm glad he didn't put that out there. That would have been so stupid. They
Would've been
cheer
funny.
for him, yeah, but he's
It's
a
in
heel.
Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see why it would be kind of stupid.
Okay, so, yeah. WWE's planning on, in other news, WWE's planning to cut back to 2 hours for SmackDown. But the date hasn't been set yet. But they're kind of guesstimating it's going to take place, and of course you've got Dave Meltzer who put in his 5, 7, 8-star rating on this news, saying, quote, "There's been talk that SmackDown goes back to 2 hours on June the 6th, but that is not a hard date. It was expected at the end of May would be the move back. Company sources say the date isn't etched in stone, but they expected it will be finalized this week." And that's end quote. That's according to Dave Meltzer. Are you falling asleep on me over there?
No, I'm awake.
Okay, because you got to stay up for this other big news that's coming through.
Is the news?
He's got a better chance of beating Hornswoggle. That's true.
Is the news bigger than Hornswoggle?
Oh, much bigger. Now, when they switched to the 3-hour time frame, when they moved to USA, there was a lot of frustration within the company with talent and everything. The purpose of it was to provide more screen time for underused talent. So, people that don't get much TV time, they get a chance to be on TV. But a lot of people are saying now it's weaker pacing, quote, "weaker pacing, filler content, and creative fatigue," end quote. Which, in a way, it kind of is. You see more promos than you do in-ring action.
Yeah, it's true.
Fans have also expressed this frustration with the timing and everything. Next story here is we're going to AEW now.
Who's going to AEW?
No. We're talking about news for AEW.
Okay, I see what you said.
You really are looking like you're about to pass out on me. Don't do that. We'll get through this quick, okay?
Oh, at least it's only a year away.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. It was supposed to come out this year, wasn't it?
No, I think it's next year. Anyway,
it's gonna be another one of those games that just gets delayed into oblivion.
yeah, pretty much. Tony Khan over here defending the now infamous nail bat part that happened on John Moxley when he was fighting Edge, and he got the nail bat stuck into his back. You remember that? He's defending that.
And it like stuck in his back, and it looked bad.
Well,
to say the least.
He's standing. Tony Khan is still standing by it. That
it looked bad.
No one's convinced that it
well, he was
interested
surprised.
people like he thought. He said, "Quote: When Mox had the spike bat in his back, that was a great wrestling moment.
This ain't ECW.
Apparently, this poor man."
This ain't ECW.
This poor man who grew up on watching ECW, by the way, had thought that a bat that had it wasn't even a bat. It was a piece of wood that had nails sticking out of it, stuck in the back of a man, was a great wrestling moment. Apparently, he hasn't been watching legendary matches.
I don't think ECW did anything like that. Now that I think about it.
No.
Not that I heard of.
No, they have done stuff they've done crazy stuff before. But
like that crazy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They've gotten as crazy as replacing the ropes with barbed wire.
Never mind.
Yeah. So he thinks that
it seems about on a similar
level.
level.
I'm just saying, he thinks that's a great wrestling moment. That is not a great wrestling moment. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage. That was a great wrestling moment. That stole.
If he
WrestleMania
can explain
3.
why it's such a great wrestling moment, maybe.
He's over here saying it right now, saying, quote, "It was memorable. It helped drive box office for us. It went viral. It was one of the most watched videos of the year in AEW. It's one of the most watched videos because a lot of people haven't seen a piece of wood that had nails."
Do you want to be famous for that though?
No.
And also, like, why did it go viral? You know,
because no one's seen that in professional wrestling.
Well, not just that, but I feel like it's another thing that people are using to criticize AEW.
Yeah.
And then that's what made that specific thing. Because like some of this, going back to the Cornette podcast thing, that's one of his big criticisms of AEW.
He always criticizes AEW because, you know,
like the whole needle mouth thing. Was that a great wrestling moment?
No, I didn't like that.
I mean, if this was, it's pretty much the same if you ask me.
Well, Tony Khan kept going on saying it made new fans and created interest. It was even on TMZ. Things that happen on TMZ are usually not good things.
Yeah, that's true.
Dave Meltzer continued with about this, saying, "I don't see any evidence it drove box office business." Quote, "It did the highest 18 to 49 rating, but that was because it was a world title match, not because of the spot."
It's YouTube shot content at best.
Pretty much.
And
pretty much. You don't need it's one of those things to where you don't need to watch the whole match. You just need to watch that one part where he gets body slammed onto a thing of spikes.
And the softcore live leak video at worst.
Yeah. Well, continuing on about AEW and Dave Meltzer and all this,
8 out of 7 stars.
Yeah. AEW are looking to lower ticket prices to boost attendance for upcoming events.
Or you could just, have more seats. That generally helps too. I'm not an expert, but
well, Dave Meltzer was reporting this on his Wrestling Observer newsletter, and he was saying that the ticket prices are starting at as low as $20. So they're using an old tactic that WWE used before WWE became a big thing, a household name, and finding ticket prices is usually pretty hard nowadays. This is because, and the reason, more than likely, wife was talking to me. Was talking about.
There was more releases.
Hang on, don't spoil it, Chris. Not that Chris, not you, Chris.
That's what I was about to say.
Don't say anything yet, because he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything, and I'm trying to get his pure reaction out of it. I'm getting to it though. I'm getting to it. But ticket sales right now for AEW's All In Texas. Wake up.
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
It was funny.
Don't do that. Anyway, they're saying here, according to Dave Meltzer, ticket sales for AEW's All In Texas, that pay-per-view coming up here, that's going to be happening in our own backyard, basically. They're struggling to sell tickets.
I don't think we can fit an entire arena stadium thing.
You know what I mean, you smart aleck. Anyway, they're trying
Maybe
to
if we folded it up.
No, don't try. But AEW is struggling to sell tickets right now, and they think if they lower the ticket prices to a minimum of 20, they could probably get some seats filled for AEW All In. I say good luck with that.
Wait, minimum ticket price of like $20?
Well, they're saying they're trying to they're starting at $20 or something.
$20 lower?
I don't know. They didn't specify. This is Dave Meltzer report, putting this, and I'm quoting Dave Meltzer.
I'm going to build a building that is 4 or feet.
Oh, good Lord. You're really overthinking this, and boy, you need to get some sleep after this. Anyway, here you go. This will perk you right up. Hulk Hogan's back in the news.
I don't know. I'm tired, brother.
Okay. Of course,
we're tired, brother.
Of course, he's running around promoting this Real American Freestyle Wrestling thing, and he was on, I believe, it's a podcast called Adam's Apple, and he was asked if the freestyle wrestling promotion was becoming more like WWE when it comes to the sports entertainment aspect. I say yes. Because
everything that the last time we talked about this, it's just professional wrestling.
Everything that they had explained and talked about and explained on how this stuff is, they're trying to say it's not really WWE or professional wrestling, but the way they explained it, it's like it's professional wrestling.
Okay, maybe not no, not professional wrestling. You want to know what it is? Tough Enough.
Basically.
It's Real American Tough Enough with your host, Hulk Hogan, brother.
Yeah. So Hogan went off and said, quote, when it came into regards of that aspect of sports entertainment, he said, quote, I have to tell you, we're not doing this with 25 writers in the back telling you what to be, how to act, or what catchphrases to say. They'll speak from the heart. We're going real organic with these guys. End quote. He also said he also was talking about how he was a little bit worried about the amateur wrestlers if they would have strong personalities or confidence.
The scheduling kind of messes with us, so we have issues trying to catch it.
Yeah, we try. Well, we've considered and thought, but I mean, not just yet.
We'll get to it at some point, I think, though.
Well, back to Hulk Hogan, he goes and says, quote, the thing I'm worried about with these amateur wrestlers, do they have the swag? Do they know how to bring an edge to their real personality? But after I met with them, they all had that Conor McGregor swag. They've all watched TV. They've seen the promos. They know about branding. These kids are really, really smart. It's professional wrestling. I don't know how much more times I'm going to have to say it.
I don't know. It's real wrestling. I'm joking.
It's not real. In
fact, imagine if it ends up being faker than normal wrestling.
Oh, I know it. I don't see it.
That
doing
would be
too,
wild.
I honestly, I don't see it doing too well. Personally. So this past weekend with Theo Vaughn on his, I guess on his show, being his podcast, he had Ben Affleck on. Ben Affleck, of course, promoting the movie The Accountant 2, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing.
He was talking about the pro wrestling scene. I don't know if there's a pro wrestling scene in that movie or not.
No, but they were talking pro wrestling because there's a long rumored Ric Flair biopic that's supposed to be in the works coming up pretty soon. A movie about Ric Flair.
Ben Affleck as Ric Flair.
Wow, you read this?
That's what it said.
Hang on. He's Ben, Affleck said, quote, "I wish I was
Bat
Ric
Flair.
Flair. That would be spectacular. I would love to play him."
Bat Flair.
Bat Flair. Ben Flair. He'd be known as Ben Flair. So a little backstory about this movie. It was back last year in February. It was announced that The Rock and his production company, Seven Bucks Productions, they were developing a biopic about Ric Flair, but they haven't. But there's been no updates and no casting decisions as of yet.
The Rock as Ric Flair. No,
Oh my God, no!
that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. But you know what's crazier? Because I'm back. I'm at the big news things, and I want to get your pure reactions of this, because everybody out in the wrestling universe already has probably gotten word of all this through social media and everything. So I need you awake. I need you alert. Okay, there you go. Wake up. Lean back. Nope, don't do that. Get up, and ready, and there you go. I'm the podcast general. Anyway, big news after WrestleMania, as usual.
Everything's better than bad news.
Well, for some, this is going to be considered bad news because
What is the news?
there have been releases from WWE. One of them, of course, starting with Christine Lubrano, who was the senior vice president of creative writing operations for WWE. She was helping out with the storytelling and the creative backbone for the company, for WWE. She had gotten released. But here's the real surprises that are coming up now. And these are most of these are coming from Fightful Select, so we're going to, if you want to check out their news stories on that, please do, because this is where we're getting this from.
Yeah, AEW. WWE's being real selectful about who's fighting.
Reason, okay, so the reason, and they're explaining the reason why they're doing these releases is because of budget. It's always budget.
Every time we've ever talked about budget cuts or releases on the podcast, off the podcast, it's no matter what, it's almost always budget cuts or whatever.
Majority of it is.
I cannot think of a single exception to that. Except for maybe, McMahon, but
Yeah.
he
Well,
had to step down. That's not
okay.
the same thing.
So strap yourselves in, kids, because this is going to get a little rough. First reported release as far as WWE talent, Braun Strowman.
He was released?
He was released again. This is the second time he's been released. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and these are the reactions I've been looking for.
because it's like, weren't we just talking about him having another match with Jacob? Weren't they talking about another match with him and Jacob?
I think so.
These releases are confusing.
Oh, it's about to get even more confusing because they also released Shayna Baszler. They have broken up a tag team. The PFC, Pure Fusion Collision or whatever.
Yeah.
She was teamed up with Zoe Stark, which I thought was a promising and very good tag team after their last promo. And I was like, okay.
And come to find out, it actually is their last promo.
It was their last promo. Um, that one surprised me because it was like she never reached the pinnacle of the main roster because they hadn't been pushing her as much.
So is this a
They've just been
again sort
hang
of
on,
deal,
hang on. They've just been putting her in tag teams. That's all they did with Shayna Baszler. The only interesting singles match she's ever had by WWE, and that was against Ronda Rousey. So,
Yeah.
okay. So Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai. Damage Control loses a member.
So I guess until
This is according to Sean Ross Sapp.
So I guess until what was it? Kairi Sane and Asuka get back, there is no Damage Control.
Pretty much, it's just Io Sky by herself. Also reported by Sean Ross Sapp, Gigi Dolan. So Tatum Paxley has lost a tag partner. So see,
That's weird.
And I'm going to get to this after I get done reading this list. I've got a lot to say. And again, remember we said in these promos, new attitude, you're going to see it here pretty soon. You ready for this one? Katana Chance and Caden Carter are released.
There is no women's tag division. Well, on the main roster anymore.
They just got released. Her best push was in NXT. I agree. Because she won the women's NXT championship, but there was no good push for her in the main roster. You know,
I
believe
feel like
me,
they had a chance.
my
for her to
attitude
get
is
a
about
tag.
to go out.
He's about to really be in his head. Okay, I'm gonna
Oh
stop
yeah,
with that.
I'm about to have my own little podcast pipe bomb here. Brace yourselves. Okay. Another announcement. Jakara Jackson of the Metaphor.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
She teamed with Lash Legend.
Yeah.
She got released.
Isn't it funny how the last promo we saw from Metaphor, they
Was-
were talking about going separate ways, and now one of them got released.
They're really going their separate ways. Riley Osborne, once a member of Chase U,
Yeah,
he got
I
released.
think I remember him.
Yeah, he got released. You ready for this one, though? Ladies and gentlemen, released from NXT, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, better known as Gallus.
Well, there goes an entire tag team again.
There goes an entire faction there. They got released. Also, and don't know if it's official yet, but it seems to be because she has now changed her name and everything. Cora Jade just got released. Also, Eddie Thorpe. The last two are rumored to have been
Juggalo
released.
would like that.
Who?
Didn't Juggalo say that he didn't like Eddie Thorpe, that Eddie Thorpe was boring or something like that?
I think so.
But I mean, it's not like they were doing anything a lot with him anyway.
Well,
So
the last two, they're saying it's to be rumored, but Cora Jade has already changed her name. Let me try to find that news story on where she changed her name now. Because, I mean, these releases are just okay, they just added another one, Javier Bernal. I'm reading it live right now, just seeing it. Javier Bernal also released.
don't remember him. I don't know specifically.
Another Oro Mensa of Metaphor.
So, oof. Metaphor really is going their separate ways. There's only two left, and
It's getting crazy. But back to Cora Jade on changing her name. She has changed her name to Elena Black. No relation to Aleister Black or Jack Black
or House of Black.
or House of Black. Okay, we're done trying to match her last name with that.
There wasn't. Well, no.
But-
wasn't there a comedian that had Black in his name?
Lewis Black.
Yeah, him. Now we're out of
But
names.
yeah, just to recap now. So you have Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, all of the faction of Gallus, Shakara Jackson, Eddie Thorpe, Javier Bernal, Oro Mensa, and Riley Osborne all were released from WWE today. They were released from their contracts, and they are now under a 30-day non-compete clause in their contract. So they got to wait a whole month before they can go off and wrestle for another promotion. So be ready, and don't be surprised if they show up in TNA or in AEW. More than likely, probably AEW, because TNA is working with WWE. Because if anything, they try to find a back door to get into WWE through TNA. But I wouldn't be surprised if you find Shayna Baszler
In AEW.
in AEW and teams up with Mina Shafir, because those two are best friends. They're part of the 4 horsewomen of mixed martial arts, and of course with Ronda Rousey as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shayna Baszler goes to AEW and teams with Marina Shafir and becomes part of the Death Riders. But yeah, that news of these releases, and there probably could be more, all very shocking.
Shocking.
Well, Braun Strowman was a bit shocking. I mean, Shayna Baszler, who's been with WWE since, I want to say,
At least a year ago.
no, longer than that. Almost, no, I would say about 10 years. She's been with them for about 10 years. So here,
Probably not more than that.
so here's what I'm about to say. And this may be a hot take. I don't care. WWE if they were trying to build a women's tag division, they just shot themselves in the foot. Because you had a good team with Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, Caden Carter and Katana Chance, Shayna Baszler and
All they really needed was like a tag name.
there were teams that didn't have names, but there were teams like Metaphor, Katana Chance and Caden Carter, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. They were a tag team. I was expecting them to get the tag titles again and become a big force to be reckoned with, but then they lost Sonya Deville, and now they've lost Shayna Baszler, so the group is no longer existing.
Yeah.
Then you have Gigi Dolan that's released, and her and Tatum Paxley have barely been a tag team for only a few months. And Gigi Dolan got released. There's a video out there right now that Shotzi had put out, and she seemed,
She got released?
well, she's making it seem like she was, the way she was sounding, and it was like she was cutting a promo, and she was starting to get a bit emotional. I wouldn't be surprised if they say that she's released. But it was just insane, just to hear about all that, and then just to have these women. I mean, I was saying it just I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was last night or the night before, where we were talking about the women's tag division.
I think it was last night.
How there was basically no tag division. You
And
need
now they're
you need to have well-established teams. I mean, if I've said it before, if
not
you,
just like singles wrestlers stuck together.
yeah, like how they're trying to do with Me Chin and B-Fab. You know, I mean, there've been. I mean, if you're wanting to showcase that the women's division is just as good as the men's division, especially in the tag division, they are lacking a great deal. Now, I don't know the purpose of the budget cuts. I don't know if they're trying to make room to hire on more people. I don't know.
Well, no. Well, few of them are from NXT.
It's all a matter of economics and money and all that stuff, which
Due to inflation, we had to cut like these 4, 5.
I don't care.
people.
I really don't care
They're now out now.
because
Not the whole half wrestler they used to be.
and I know everyone. I know people are probably thinking, why is Kevin sticking up so much for women wrestling? Because I watched women's wrestling grow into what it is today, from barely being seen at all to half-naked women running around and just being there as eye candy and everything, to being complete badasses in the ring, like
Well, some
Shayna
of them
Baszler.
anyway.
Well, majority of them, they started to become badasses, and it's like, okay, they're really trying to get the women's division to be really, really strong, and it's not working. Yay, we got now the women's division's got mid-card titles. Okay, how's the tag division doing?
Dead.
The singles division is looking good.
Unless they like combine them, but at the same time,
The singles women's division is going great. The tag division is what is needing to be focused on. You got the mid-card titles, good for
It needs
you.
help.
Yeah, it does. And I don't know if they're trying to make room in their budget for more female wrestlers that can compete or something. I don't know, but you just released some good ones that could. I don't know if it's because they're not putting enough effort. I don't know. Their main excuse is budget cut. It's due to the budget and everything. Okay, fine. But why people that we're seeing more on TV? If it's people we're not seeing as much on TV, like Ora Mensa, I haven't seen him on TV in quite some time.
At least a week or two.
Javier Bernal, okay, I can understand that. I've never seen him.
Unless he was the guy that kind of looked like No You're Wrestling.
No.
I don't remember Javier Bernal.
Anyway,
then.
anyway, it's just, it's what really gets my goat,
You have a goat?
You know what I mean. It's what irritates me, because I'm all about equality. I really am, because the women that were coming up, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, those women, and towards the end of the Divas era, were starting to show, hey, we can do as much as the men can, and then up comes Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks and them, really showing and showcasing we're right there as equal with the men, if not better. And then it's like, okay, we're going to present the women's tag division, and here are the tag teams. And of course, the first two to win to be the inaugural women's tag champions were Bayley and Sasha Banks to lead the way in. And then it just started to dwindle downhill because, yeah, they were singles competitors and they won the tag titles. And yeah, they lost it to the Iconics, but that was an established women's tag team, the Iconics. And then you just had singles competitors team up to take the titles. And that was all that was. So I'm just frustrated with the whole thing. Because as a wrestling fan, and I just like wrestling in general, when it's good and everything. But if you're wanting to try to have
And
equality,
not some of like the really crazy stuff.
yeah. But if you're trying to have
AEW.
yeah,
Mostly
you're about
AEW.
you're about to pass out
I'm just
here.
gonna fall asleep on the mic.
But for those that are like,
Headbutt.
yeah, for those that are all about like equality and everything, it's not showing. It really isn't. And that's going for right now, from what I'm seeing, WWE and AEW. they're trying in AEW. I can see
Are
that.
they?
Well, they don't have a tag division, but the reason why is because they don't have one to begin with. They can't have women's tag titles if they don't have a tag division. You look at TNA, they've got
The Knockouts division or
the
whatever they call
knockouts,
it.
the tag titles there. You have something Elegance. In the earlier, they've had Havoc. It was Rosemary teamed with. Well, actually, the other woman's name was Havoc. Jessica Havoc was her name.
Yeah,
they were a
witches team or something.
No,
No.
But you're starting to get some teams there, you know, but it's just a big letdown in a way with these releases now, because it's like, I understand you're wanting to give us entertainment, and us as fans, we don't know anything. We're gonna be,
I don't know. I think
we're gonna be dumb to the fact of it.
I don't know. I think that Netflix series should tell us everything we need to know.
Probably. But
Everything.
I'm just hoping, if they are trying to do something that's better for their promotion, that it happens soon, because if this tag division doesn't improve, they're gonna have to
Fix it.
they're gonna have to get rid of the titles.
That's one way. It's not the best way, but
It's not the best way, no, but that's probably what it's going to come down to.
it's what they're more likely to do. I feel.
So, I mean, if we're to see anything, we need to see the tag division improve. We're glad, because I've been saying for years that at least WWE needs to get mid-card titles, because AEW apparently was showing that they can put mid-card titles. So WWE has, and it's like, finally we have a women's Intercontinental and women's U.S. champion.
$600 and you can get a mid-card title from AEW.
Not like that. But,
What do you mean they're the champion? I got the belt right here.
but I'm just saying, okay? And I know I'm ranting and raving and I'm getting down off my soapbox here, but it's...
Back to normal land.
Yeah, but I just can't stress it enough. It just frustrates me.
Yeah.
It's just that. So, so we're going to go ahead, and we're probably going to go ahead and wrap things up here before Chris really passes out on us here. And give me that. Anyway.
Laser pointing there.
Let me get this brought up here. All right. So, you guys let us know in our, let me pull it up here so you guys can know that too. Where is it? Right here in our social media. You can, don't do that.
Bye, guys.
We're not leaving just yet.
Social media is over here.
Camera's this way.
Oh.
Wake up. Anyway.
Ooh, the red light.
So you can check us out on our social media
Wait,
pages.
did that show up on the camera? Oh, no, it didn't.
Oh, well.
There's a bit of a delay, so if... Yeah.
Anyway, forgive him. You can check us out on our social media sites we have down here. Of course, if you want to be a part of our Discord, if you're not a part of our Discord, there is a link you can find. There's a video on TikTok that Chris had put out, and it was
The invite link is like in the description of that TikTok.
So click on that, and we'd love for you guys to be a part of it. We'll be putting votes. What are you looking up there for?
Did you press the laser button?
I probably did. Anyway, in the Discord, we'll bring you guys up to date on when we're doing lives and everything.
And also the poll for the match of thing.
Which, by the way, the match of the night for us, if you didn't recall, was Miz versus Aleister Black. That was our match of the night. Tomorrow, we've got Collision. And also, we'll be starting the next round of voting for Match of the Week. Looking forward to that. So, Yep. That
Yep.
Chris already knows it's already about that time. So, just want to say that we appreciate you guys appreciate you guys being here watching our live and our podcast. Be sure to, again, check out the social media sites we have down here. And, of course, send us an email as well if you'd like. Chris?
Crosspromopod@gmail.com.
Very good. Even if he's half alive, he can still do it. All right. All right, everyone. So,
Half alive.
go ahead and do this here. All right. So, from all of us here at Cross Promo Show, I'm Kevin,
I'm Chris.
and
We
gone.
gone.